your idea of you linking anorexia nervosa with art, with aesthetics, is certainly interesting in that anorexia nervosa has to do with body image. There is a distortion in the perception of the body image. That is, the person that is suffering from anorexia nervosa has a distorted image of her or his body. In this sense, if you choose art to represent it, there's many forms. You can go, I'm not an art person, but the Rambotero, painting the round figures, to, I think it was Kandinsky, with a very modern, ghosty looking, or even Goya, I think, in the golden age, exploring the faces and the look, and then the body represented how. It's, as I said, it's a disease that reflects in the distorted body image. Obviously, a person being in a very low weight perceives herself or himself as being fat. This is the way translate the distorted image. They really believe
they're fat.
They're fat. It is a distorted image.
But when they look into the mirror, they don't see themselves as fat.
Yes, they do.
Do they physically see fat around themselves, or do they just think that their look is fat?
That their look is fat.
Okay, because that's one of mine, that people think that they actually see themselves as that.
No, it's a distorted perception. They see the rest of the people as they are, in a sense. But the judgment towards themselves is distorted. So then they think that they have to lose more weight. And this is, because it is distorted, it means that it's as if the perceptive system, the perception, is sick. It's malfunctioning. It's like, I show you a square and you see a circle. There is, and that would be in a child, a learning problem. And you would need to work on that. It's a disorder. So this is now the reason why this perception is distorted is another story. Well, the way I see it and the way I understand it, there is always behind this huge emotional problems that have to do either with family dynamics, but certainly this person suffering anorexia nervosa has found a place of you say solace, a place of comfort in that.
A little bit, yeah.
It's a little weird from the outside to understand this, but this is the way it is, and that's why they keep on repeating the symptom. Going more and more.
I've heard it described as control or something.
Well, because it has to do with that, with the control. It is a way, it is as if when a lot of circumstances around them are out of their control, then they find this by which they both feel that they can control something, which certainly they do, their weight, but also many times find a way to control the environment, which is having people worried about them, that they didn't get to find otherwise. That's why it is a symptom. It's also in the same category as a symptom like the self-hurt. It is a way, the self-hurt has to do with feeling something. This has to do with control. But it's a symptom of being unwell in other emotional areas. Obviously a low self-esteem, not being happy with who you are, thinking that the world is unfair to you, a lot of some depression maybe as well. sort of a hopelessness about the world, about the people, about the system. And this has to do with tied up with the lack of control they feel regarding their own existence.
Is this a new disease? So when has it always been around, or is it really just shown up?
I don't know when the beginnings of it. Certainly it is more a disease of the developed countries. In underdeveloped countries where people don't have anything to eat, this is certainly not prevalent. It started, or it used to be for a while, more predominant in women than men. Now it's almost same.
Same, really.
So it's not unusual to find anorexic men. It has also the culture around us plays an important role, the role of the image. That's why I was telling you about the aesthetics and the art. The image is very powerful for the human being. That is, if I make you close your eyes and I say something, you get an impact. Now, if I just don't speak, but I just show you a picture, the picture impacts a lot more than any of the other senses, say feel, smell, taste. Image is something but that humans are drawn into directly. We go like massively into it. Yeah, we can filter a lot less. Say, if I make you close your eyes and I speak, the words I speak you're going to understand. But you're also maybe get a thought about my tone of voice, my pronunciation, and you may feel you like it or not, or judge it in a different way. The image is a lot more bold. It doesn't allow us to filter so much. That's why it is so widely used in advertising. Because the image, and that's why I say an image is worth 1,000 words. Yeah, they use this kind of thing because it's true. You can have somebody talk a lot, but the moment you show one image, it's really a lot more powerful than a lot of words sometimes. So, in this is that, the culture we live in, fosters also goes for eternal youth, absolute utopic well-being, happiness, as a permanent state of life, of living, and these things are untrue. Life is not like that. We are sometimes happy, we are sometimes sad, we just don't want to go too much into the extremes of it, yeah? And most of the time we're sort of okay, neither happy nor unhappy, So, but this, in that sense, advertising and the culture we live in tends to exaggerate and really it's like a blowing out of proportion about what is what used to be idols in the past. These images to which you could identify before plastic surgeries, and they were a lot more real, and the means of getting there more human. I mean, they had their faults. They maybe had nice eyes, but not such a nice nose. And these days, with all the plastic surgery, it's like, Barbie dolls and all that appeared also